Hello and welcome to Course Like Your Car Brochure channel. In today's episode, the Alfa Romeo 164. Hello and welcome back to Course Like. And Course Like, we're a car brochure channel here on YouTube, looking at car brochures from around the world for the 60s, 70s, 80s and 90s. So if you think that might interest you, please consider subscribing. Anyway, back to today's episode. We're taking a look at this, the Alfa Romeo 164. This particular one is a 1988 brochure from the UK, so let's have a look at that now. And here is today's brochure. Well, two brochures really, but this one is the colour chart, so we'll come back to that one in a moment. So this is today's brochure. Very plain cover at this time for the Alfa Romeo 164 in 88. It was basically just showing the little badge and 164, so we may as well open that up and see what's inside. Quite a big brochure actually, a lot of pages, a lot of text, so we won't be reading all the text, we won't have time for all that. And really good quality card material as well, so it wasn't a cheap brochure to produce. Front page is this little grille for the 164 with the badge, so a little bit of a styling page I guess before we open the page up to see our first glimpse of the 164, so I'll just move that up a little bit. So this is the front end obviously of the Alfa Romeo, probably the nicest view actually, the front. This is looks particularly nice, colour alpha red, great colour for the car obviously. Do like the styling of the badge and the grille, how it's obviously it's not a proper working grille, you've still got the grille here, but nicely designed how it comes round and you've got that very familiar Alfa Romeo grille. The bumper itself is quite plain, apart from this nice little notch to incorporate that grille, that's nice, but the bumper itself is very plain. There's no like inserts in there of chrome or red or anything. And also this model, even though it's quite a high spec model, isn't even showing it having any fog lights on there. Overall, like I say, I think that's the nicest view of the car. Here's the text for that particular page. I'm not going to read it all, but I will point out, it's telling us there that Pininfarina, who is responsible for its design, has created an image that is unmistakable, and it's, they were very identifiable vehicles. So then we get to this, a page called Style and Sophistication. Really nice page this, how it folds up. So the brochure itself, apologies for the noise there, the brochure itself is really nicely designed. Now the side-on view, in some ways a little bit plain, but nicely proportioned. We get this rather nice little crease, which I do like. It goes all the way back, right to these tiny little lights. I do like the rear of these as well, how it just kind of like fits in there, giving them sort of like nice light and dark shades. No stretch of the imagination do I think this is the most attractive Alfa Romeo ever, but larger Alfas tend to struggle a little bit more with the looks, but overall I think it is a nice design overall. Do like these bumpers as well, how they kind of like swoop down, and the rear as well. That's quite a nice little touch. I also think they do suit this sort of like two-tone effect as well, with the lower end in this darkened colour. This particular colour itself, looking like a grey shade, is metallic pewter. So the next page shows us this unusual little diagram showing the aerodynamic research for the 164 body, a pressure distribution diagram. Interesting in a not really interesting way. Funny little image to put on a brochure actually. It tells us the CX figure of the 164 is 0.305, which is actually quite a slippery shape for the time. We do get these images which actually, when you look at the 164 parts as a whole, aren't that remarkable, but there's that door mirror, the front headlight, and a door handle. Nothing too exciting, but it's kind of like telling you, these parts have been kind of like designed to give it that more aerodynamic shape. So then we get to a page entitled Power and Performance, a little bit of a sneak peek at the front end there. Now this is what I sometimes say when some angles I think the 164 is really beautiful, sometimes it's a bit I guess this is one of them moments. From this just a little shot like this, and not a full front-on shot. Like a front-on shot looks really good. I'm not as attracted to it, this front end prominent and these squared lines, but as soon as I open the picture and we see the full picture, it suddenly turns into an attractive car again. It's kind of a weird design overall, I think, but it's quite a nicely proportioned car as a whole, I think. The colour itself is obviously black. So for this one, I think you can't say anything other than this is a really beautiful looking engine though, guy. That looks absolutely fabulous, the 3 litre V6. And we also get a really nice exploded view of the 3 litre V6 engine that's been drawn, which is really rather nice. And then the brochure moves on. It's really a lovely brochure this, and now we get a view of a clutch gearbox differential assembly all drawn out for us. And at the bottom here we get another drawn picture of the ZF automatic gearbox with torque converter. So the brochure itself is really nice. Then we get an actual inside picture of the 164, and for me the inside of the 164 is kind of the biggest disappointment. It's lots of greys, very block boxy. I guess a bit strange having an automatic in the Alfa as well, I guess. I think there's more interior views. We'll have a more look at that, I think, though. Now this part of it, I do like the interior of this side of things. So it says luxury accommodation. The seats look really nice, don't they? You've got this centre armrest, a little bit of a way to clip away your seatbelt buckles. That's all really very neat. You've also got a little bit of a sort of parcel type tray on the back there to put odds and ends in. Maybe your hat, I don't know. Door cards look lovely. I think they're really very nicely styled with these door handles again at the front, and I like this 2 colour treatment. Again, the front seats look really nice. It's really the dashboard that I didn't particularly like about the 164. But then you get the dashboard and it's all drab grey colours, a very flat steering wheel, and really nothing you would say would be sporty or even luxurious as far as I can see on there. Of course you might have another opinion, please do voice your opinion about that, but for me this is like the I guess the least desirable part of a 164, in my opinion anyway. Front seats look nice though, don't they, and you can even get that little bit of a centre armrest in between the front seats, and then randomly scattered buttons. More look at the front end and this front dashboard, kind of like a, I don't know, computer tower it looks more like, but let's zoom in on the buttons. So yeah, so your fans and your heating all in sort of button form. Can you imagine trying to find those without looking? And I think there's another little bit of a picture up here showing, you know, the similar sort of thing, telling us the automatic air conditioning control standard on the 3 litre V6 Lusso. Optional all other versions are arranged logically on the centre plinth. I'm not sure I agree. And then we get this front dash showing you how the gauges work. A lot of equipment, there's no doubt about that. See the little red line showing you which doors are open. So for 1988 it was quite advanced, but the problem also was it had sort of like typical Alfa Romeo electrics problems. So the more equipment you put on, the more things to go wrong, of course. Then we move into more sort of sketches of things, which reminds me of much older brochures, this time of the front tyre and suspension. But this is rather nice, so we'll zoom in on this sort of X-ray image. So even this is only a drawing, I actually prefer the looks in this particular drawing. It must be a much higher model as well. We've got these fog lamps which really set it off looking a little bit nicer, and they've even managed to, you know, right, Alfa Romeo there. So it's a very well drawn little X-ray image of what's going on there. A little bit of a look at the anti-skid ABS system. So quite a technical brochure as well, which is unusual. Like I say, when we moved into the 80s, things got a little bit less technical. And the structure of the steering column, how it folds. And also a little diagram showing the power assisted steering layout. So here it's showing two models, the 3-litre V6 and the 3-litre V6 Lusso in the technical specifications. So 2959cc engine. Not going to go through it all because it's lots of technical specifications here, but you know, if you want to pause the screen at any time, you certainly can do. It's also showing here it's a 5-speed gearbox, of course. ABS, rather nice, it's standard, and discs all round, which is very nice. Maximum speed, it's saying over 143 miles per hour, 0 to 16 7.5 seconds. So a quick car for the size of the vehicle, and this is really what it's all about. Whether you love the looks, or think meh about the looks, like I'm a little bit on two minds, there's no doubting it would be an amazing car to own and drive. And there's a little bit of a look at the miles per gallon and some of the sizes there as well. And then it continues with the 3-litre V6 and the V6 Lusso, telling you what equipment levels were on there, which they were quite high, but remember, these are high-spec cars. Light alloy wheels, though, optional on the V6. You get it on the Lusso, though. You also get rear sun blinds on the Lusso as well. And the list continues, so very well spec'd. Like I said, I just worry about all that equipment on an Italian car. And it continues, so leather interior is optional on either model. Equipment continues. Sorry about this, a little bit of a fold on there, unfortunately it's tending to fold back. So optional automatic climate control on the V6. The Lusso does get that as standard as well as all that other equipment. And it continued as so, even telling us at the bottom there, we even get metallic paint as standard. Now it goes on to tell us about the colours there, but there's a better colour chart, so we'll move on to that now. So we have this colour chart matching on the front, but not much really to talk about, but we'll open that colour chart up. First, give us another little bit of a look. I think we'll zoom in on that, because I think that's probably the nicest looking Alfa Romeo actually. So a bit more of a higher spec Alfa Romeo, and like I say, I'm surprised, Alfa Romeo 164 I should say, a bit more of a higher spec Alfa Romeo 164. I'm surprised it didn't show this one in the main brochure really. That's a bit weird, obviously with these extra lights. I think them extra lights make all the difference. I'm still in two minds whether I like the design, I must admit. Colour choice, I'm surprised it's not a bigger colour choice actually for 1988 on such a luxurious car, but Alfa red if you wanted to go all Alfa, which I mean the sporty models did look nice in Alfa red, so if you got that big 3-litre V6 Lusso, you know, normally I wouldn't say red was the best colour for a large car, but it's an Alfa Romeo. The dark colours do look nice also, we've got black. And obviously on the opposite side they are the interior colours as well, so you can have a look at. So we have black, then we got this metallic dark blue, metallic silver and metallic pewter. If I manage to tune that. There we go, that is the metallic pewter. And of course, like I said, these are interior colours, so we've got grey leather, that's the option, blue velvet, green velvet, grey velvet, and there we go. We also get a rather nice little image of the interior. I think this is probably the same image we got in the main brochure. Nice little Alfa Romeo along the doors there. So it confirms what upholstery you got depending on the colour. So there we go, that is the Alfa Romeo 164. If you've got any memories of these cars, please let me know in the comments. Also, please do like and subscribe if you've not done already. But thank you so much for watching Course Light today. Many more episodes coming soon. So we'll see you then. Take care and goodbye.